Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's workout is glute focused and it is fire. Let me tell you, I have been loving this workout the last few weeks, and so I wanted to share it with you. So if you want to try the workout out for yourself, you can screenshot the workout on the screen. And now let's get started. First up is a glute focused cable step up. These are seriously so good, but they can be a little tricky to nail down at first when you are trying to get the most out of your glutes. So I do want to give you some key tips that you can focus on. So with your form, you want to be more hinged forward rather than directly straight up with your torso, just to get your glutes in a more stretched and favorable position. You then want to try your best to keep your shin as vertical as possible throughout the movement to avoid any excessive knee drive and minimize as much quads as possible. As you come up, you want to drive all through your working side and avoid using that non-working foot that reaches the ground to push you off the ground at all. I will actually keep my entire foot that's on the bench planted, but purposely drive through my heel as much as possible, and this really helps me feel it more in my glutes and less quads. I notice that if I drive through the front of my foot a lot, my quads want to just fire up, so I try to just keep most of my weight through my heel, but I do still keep my entire foot planted on the bench. Then as you descend, you want to think pushing your working glute back behind you as you move down rather than just going straight up and down. You will also want to use a cable machine to brace yourself with your other arm, but don't use it to pull you up or aggressively hold you still. You still want to try your best to allow your glute and stabilizers to do as much of the work as possible, so just try to use it there as a confidence boost and a guide rather than like solely depending on it. Then with the setup, you can either place it how I have it if you're using a bench, or if you're using a smaller box, you can place it directly beside the cable and then just move it side to side for each side. Either variation, you want to hold the weight next to your working side as you move up and down. Next up is one of my absolute favorite thrust variations, and that is a barbell 1 1/4 rep thrust. By implementing that extra contraction at the top, you're increasing your glutes time under tension in the hardest part of the movement. If you want crazy glute contact and a crazy glute pump, do a few sets and reps of these and your glutes will be toast. These are no joke, but they are really good. So you got 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. Increase that weight each set if you can. If not, that's fine. Just make sure you're using a challenging weight. 8 to 10 reps and you're good. I then move on to some leg presses with a high foot placement to bias more glutes because this is a glute focused workout. That higher foot placement will allow you to achieve a fuller stretch in your glutes at the bottom of the movement, and it's also going to keep your shins vertical, which will mean less knee drive, which means less quads. Now you're obviously still going to be using your quads with this movement, but we can make tweaks to our form to get the most out of our glutes as much as possible. Basically, we're trying to get more glutes, less quads here, and that high foot placement helps with that. So you're doing 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps, increasing that weight each set if you can. I then end with a superset that leaves my glutes on fire, and that starts with weighted rounded back extensions on the GHD. If your gym has a 45-degree hyper, you can also use that, but this is what I'm working with. So to make it more challenging on the glutes, I like to hold a plate further up by my head, but if you are using a dumbbell, I will typically just keep that closer to my chest as it's just easier to move throughout. Now, the rounding of the shoulders and keeping everything tucked and compact up top is to shut off the erectors and keep my low back from activating as much as possible. So whether you use a rounded variation like I am or a straight back method, you just need to find the position that works best for you and lock it there. You don't want to be straight, then round at the top, or vice versa throughout the rep, moving back and forth. This will activate your low back like crazy. Also, be sure to stay in your glutes range and only go up to the point where your glutes are fully contracted. Any further and your low back will kick in, so this means your range should be smaller than if you were to do a back extension for the low back. You will then superset with seated hip abductions. Now, if you would prefer to do a standing single leg variation on the cable or with a band or any other hip abduction variation, go for it, but this is one of my faves. I stopped doing them for a little after my gym got a newer machine a while back because it's like a lot of hip abduction machines where you can't reach full ROM at the bottom. You end up having this huge gap of missing ROM. But then I did see Brett Contreras mention the use of pads on each side to bring your legs in closer to get that ROM you typically miss out on with machines that are built like this, and it works like a charm. I was so excited when I saw that. I do also like to lean forward with mine and use the machine to brace myself. So once you are all situated, you will be doing 3 sets of 15 to 20 of these and then 12 to 15 of the back extensions. So once you complete that superset, you are finished. I hope you enjoyed the workout. Let me know in the comments here or on Instagram how it went for you. I love seeing you all kill the workouts. You're always tagging me. It brings me so much joy to see you guys loving the workouts. If you're looking for more structured training, you can find my 12-week workout program in the description box below. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And other than that, I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.